And now, because you attended the whole session, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, first of all, to understand that the most important thing from any physical activity to keep yourself doing it is to celebrate during and celebrate after. So you should feel great that you just learned something about your body to stay healthy, to stay functional. And so if you feel euphoric about that, if you give yourself kind of positive messages, that'll actually reinforce you taking those kind of actions, and it makes everything that much easier. So if you're a person who already exercises, you're already in the path. But if you're not, or something that's difficult for you to stick with, that is one of the secrets to kind of keeping you going, right? Because we have to marry the mechanical optimization with that psychological optimization. And here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to give every full body fixer right now in session with me a very special opportunity, and that is the ability to connect with me in a very small, intimate group setting on Zoom. We have multiple session times available. Patricia will drop the link in the chat for that now. So whatever is personally most important to you, whatever your fitness objectives are, whatever you'd like to achieve, I'll connect with you personally, and we can figure out if moving forward, if it would be good for you to become what we call a VIP. So a VIP is what we call our clients, very important people who become very impressive physically. So if you'd like to meet with me in a very small, semi-private session, getting big value, then I would love to connect with you. And the link is now in the chat. So you can click the link there and schedule yourself in at whatever time works best for you. And then we will go into next what we call our Q&A, which is questions and answers. So these are like any questions that you have from today's session, or comments or positive shares or things you want to share that you learned today. So to participate with me, what I want you to do is go to the bottom of the Zoom bar and click reactions. So bottom of the Zoom bar, click reactions. It says reactions. It's a emoticon, kind of like a smiley face with a little plus sign on the head. When you click reactions, then you'll then get an option to raise hand. You click raise hand, and just like you can see on my screen now, your hand will raise. And what I'll do is I'll call on full body fixers in the order in which they raise their hand. And I'm looking forward to connecting with everyone who would like to connect with me here now. And just one more time, Patricia has dropped the link in the chat. So if you'd like to have the opportunity to connect with me personally, you can take advantage of that now by clicking the link that's in the chat. And with that, let's go into Q&A. And first up, we have Patty Hiller. Hi, Patty. Good afternoon to you. And Patricia would have sent you a little link there to be able to unmute yourself. So just to give you a little more information, full body fixers that are in the event still here. When you come on to connect with me, Patricia will give you a link to unmute. So she'll send you a little link to unmute. We keep everybody muted during the meeting because otherwise we hear the dog barking and the toilet flushing in the middle of the meetings. So we set the meeting to have everyone muted. And then when we connect, we give you links to unmute. And with that being said, good afternoon to you, Patty Hiller.
Thank you for that great class. It was extremely informative. The problem here is that I'm old and I'm broken. So I've had knees crushed, so I can't really bend my knees very much. And I'm old, so, my feet are very far away. So I don't know how to do the toe exercises. I understand what you were trying to teach. I can't do it. And I can't reach down with my hands to get at my feet. So now what do I do?
So it's probably because you have your legs too close together. That's a much harder position to get to. If you open your legs really wide.
Open. They're open.
Yeah. So if you open your legs, there you go. Yeah, your arms are long enough to reach your feet from there. There you go.
A little bit short, about 2 or 3 inches short. So maybe if I just keep wishing.
Let me see, Patty. Why don't you go back to that purple chair and show me what you're doing. I know the purple chair is a little higher, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. You're reaching your toes. Yeah. I hear you. Okay, so yeah, it's a little hard to breathe because you're pushing your. So one thing you could do is get like any type of like soft fabric strap of any type, and like for the 3-toe exercises, you can pull your toe up with like a fabric
Yeah,
strap. And the one where we drag the big toe backwards, right? When we
yeah,
drag in the big toe backwards, that's a little difficult to do with any strap or any device, but that's also an easier one to do. That 3-toe exercise is really tricky.
that's
So
really, but
yeah,
I
but
can
I'm sure
do
you
that.
can
Thank you.
go ahead.
I can do that. Even like the sash to a bathrobe would work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for answering my
And
question.
and then I want to encourage you, there's always a way into exercise. And sometimes when you feel like there's, it can be big issues, small issues, there's always a way in, there's always ways for massive improvement. And that's what we do. So we have certain exercise and protocols, but we have what we call regressions to every exercise that we have. So there's a spectrum of, if this doesn't work, we can do this, we can do this, we can do it. So there's always a way in, there's always a way to improvement. And when you start focusing on your mechanics, and then you increase your energy expenditure doing different types of exercise, your overall body gets healthier, your mechanics get healthier, and you literally will get younger. Like literally physiologically, but mechanically get younger. And that's what we do, is finding those ways to make sure that no matter whether you're like already good and you want to be elite, or whether you feel very dysfunctional and you just like to be somewhat functional, improve quality of life, we'll help you get there. So I look forward to seeing you back in session 2. And I was able to answer all your questions for you?
Yes, thanks.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. And then invite you to come see me for what we call it's all about you session. So anybody who hasn't yet signed up for the It's All About You session, if moving forward and being a what we call a private clients or VIP, something that's interesting to you, I'd highly suggest that you schedule for It's All About You session. Make it a great rest of your weekend, Patty.
You too.
And you're going to have to help me pronounce your name, but Nedia, I'm going to do my very best, and then I'll let you correct me. You're up next. And also Patricia will send you a link if it's possible to share, to start your video, great. If not, it's okay. But with video, we're able to go side by side screen displays here.
Hi, I'm sorry, I can't actually share the video, but I have a question about your program, because I am traveling in about a month and a half, a little bit short of a month and a half, for pilgrimage. So it's a very, hard traveling. You walk a lot. I mean, you really need to be fit for that. So I have a month, and I've been fit up to about 5 years ago, when I kind of let down everything. I'm 56, and I'm trying to see how I can really get fit by like July 1st. Is that possible? Can you help me?
Oh, so you already have a baseline level of fitness, or?
Yeah, kind of. I'm not, I mean, I can.
Okay, so your goal, what kind of activity are you going to do?
Well, I walk,
what's
your
goal?
I need to be.
What's your goal? What kind of activity do you need to be prepared for?
My goal is really to be able to, like, do at least like the 10,000, how do you call them? What you have
Steps.
to do every day.
Steps in a day.
There you go.
Yeah.
But not be tired and do it like,
yeah. So you're going to do traveling. So you're going to do traveling that requires a lot of walking, and you want to be in shape enough to do that you don't damage your body. Is that correct?
Yes. And it's a lot of walking, and you have some issue with not being able to sleep, the whole 8 hours for 15 days, about 15 days, because it's very intense. And then,
So what I'm going to suggest you do, because July 1st, pretty quick. It's coming up pretty
Yes.
fast. So to like,
Yes.
to have the way that you would create a really significant, the way that you create a really significant improvement in your fitness is, and you're not already fit, is number one, you're going to have to control inflammation, because if you try to push your body really hard too early, you're going to get excess inflammation. So some of the things that you need to do, number one, is you need your diet to be really, really good. Okay. So you need to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and you need to eat a significant amount of protein, and you need to stay well hydrated, because those are the primary building blocks that help nourish your body, rebuild your body, and everything is dependent upon water. So that's first. Second is I suggest you do a ton of exercise in the water, because water is low impact. So you're not going to beat up your joints. So you're going to be able to get away with a lot more physical activity without overtraining. And because you've done so much more physical activity than you've been doing before, you're going to increase your energy capabilities and output without basically abusing your body, at least as much, right? So that's what I would suggest. I suggest you do, like 30 to 40 minutes of exercise 3 times a day. And ideally you need to do it in water, because, you're going to be, with what you just shared with me, you're going to be doing a lot of physical activity every day. So you need to do that same type of pattern. But if you try to just start doing that, you're going to end up like a lot of people. They have these short-term goals, and it's like oh, I was great before I did this thing, and then now I'm broken after I went on that event. So I suggest that you don't approach it that way. I suggest you go in the water, and then you can also mix in some walking, some moderate climbing, in terms of like hiking and that type of thing. But in terms of pushing yourself, I'll get the majority of the exercise in water. And you can you just get in water and you move, you walk, you run in place, you move your arms, you just stay in motion. You don't actually have to swim. So that's my suggestion for you.
But you said 3 times a day. You meant 3 times a week, right?
No, I mean 3 times a day. Yeah. You just told me that you're going to do an activity that requires you to move all throughout the day. So you have to be prepared for that. Otherwise, the activity you're going to do is going to cause excess. It's going to be the thing that causes an issue for you. So you want to prepare for that.
Okay. Okay. That is going to be difficult, though. But thank you so much. I really appreciate
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Extreme results takes extreme measures. I don't normally give extreme type of things, but when you come and say, hey, in 6 weeks, I want to be super fit, like then you're going to hear my answers a little different than normal. So, but what I like to do is take a slow, steady, intelligent approach and meet each individual exactly where they're at and make it nice and comfortable and secure and optimize the body. That's really my goal. But in your case, it changes just a little because of your goal. So make it a great weekend. And I hope to see you in the second session. Tony, hello, welcome. How are you? And Patricia should be sending you a link now to be unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
I sure can. Yes.
Great. Hi. I have scoliosis, and I've been trying to find something to do that will at least stabilize it over time. I'm 74. I've searched various physical therapists and exercise people and have just not found anybody who can really instruct me on how to move. I tried a yoga class that was specific for scoliosis, and I found it very difficult because my body just doesn't kind of move that way for the most part. So I'm just wondering if what you can comment on that, and whether what you'll do going forward in the other sessions will address or can address what I need to work on. I know I can't correct
for
it,
sure.
straight spine ever, but I just don't want it to get terribly worse.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. You're going to learn a lot, especially like in the second session with the whole hip and knee alignment, which really supports the pelvis and keeps that in line, which can help, decrease the level of deviation of where the spine should be. So, if you're okay with it, I would ask you to if I can look at you and have you stand up and see your alignment. Now, did you share with me, you think that you have, if you can bring your camera down like a couple inches?
I bend-
Yeah.
See,
No, it needs to come down a couple more inches, the camera, if possible. Are you using a laptop or a cell phone?
it's an iPad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just need to. No. Yeah, I need to see at least like your knee level. So right now I have belly button level. So I need you to go. I need you to go like this. I need you to change to where it goes down. Yeah. There you go. That's perfect.
Except I'm
Yes.
holding it,
Yeah. if
so
you-
I have to prop it up with something, I guess.
That works.
Let me just try this. How's that?
And pull your shirt against your pelvis and your abdomen if you would. Just yeah, you can just go like this. Like, yep. Okay. Yeah, I can see your left side pelvis is a little higher than the right. Yep. Okay. All right. So, okay, I just want to see like how much deviation we're talking about. So, yes, for you, I think you actually could improve it. Is you're going to completely change and align the bone? Probably not. But can you improve it? Yeah, just like many of these pathologies, we can improve them for sure. And so it has a lot to do with the way that you're aligning each joint and then having your pelvis held near center as possible, and then being able to strength train all your tissues in your hips and around and find your mobility deficiencies. In other words, how long is your tissue on the backside of your lower back on the left versus the right, and really breaking the things down like that, because then you can find all the deviations and you can address those on that level. So we have an exercise plan that would actually be proper and right for you, that puts you in great alignment. And then we support you with the other additional exercise that would target those specific deviations I just talked about. So yeah, and actually in our VIP system, we have like a world-class elite, like we have an orthopedic specialist doctor on our team. We have a world-class physiotherapist that's an orthopedic specialist. So where our VIPs need additional help, we'll jump in and help them adjust certain things to improve. But yeah, I think that absolutely you'd get a huge benefit and value. The biggest thing for us is just having consistency. So our VIPs who have consistency in the plan, they achieve every time, 100% of the time, massive results. And where they struggle, then our team jumps in and helps remove the hurdles. So yeah, I think I have a lot of hope for you. I think you could make a lot of progress.
And is there a link to that program somewhere, or?
Yeah, it's so the link that you would get is you would schedule an It's All About You session where you could learn more about that.
Okay.
So that's where you
Right.
go to a semi-private consult and you could learn more. Yeah.
Okay,
And then
perfect.
in your 5th session, I'll share a little bit more about that too.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, and I think we definitely make some nice improvements for sure. I
Okay.
don't have any doubt.
It's great to hear.
Yeah. Mary, hello. Welcome. Good afternoon to you.
See if this will work. Okay, I'm gonna fix that.
Perfect. Yep, I can hear you. You're
Oh,
unmuted.
Good. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got my walker real quick because I knew you'd want to see me in my walker. So, which I normally don't use. I usually use this wheelchair, but I knew you'd want to see me in entirety. And I'm sorry, I have multiple sclerosis. That's what I have. And my brain doesn't work very well because actually the multiple sclerosis got to my brain, I'm sorry to say, but it's okay because they did fix it a little bit. But anyway, and I'm going to try to back up so you can see me in entirety. But it's the situation has been that it's taken a long time for them to figure out what was wrong with me, for starters. Okay. And then they finally figured out, and they don't even still believe that I have multiple sclerosis entirely. But it's just so entirely clear to me now that that's what my problem is. And but it's led to all these other complicated issues with my body. So I'm trying to get to a position where you can see me in my entirety. So I've had issues now that have, you know, gradually worsened over the past 6 years, where I've had to go, you know, from a walker, then gradually to a wheelchair. And I'm sorry, I may not be able to show you everything, but I'll try to get back far enough in case that'll help you. I don't know what'll help you. But I'm just so anxious to get moving again. It's not, and this will put, I hope this won't put too much strain on you. But I honestly do think, I do realize my brain is part of this problem. But I think it's because the multiple sclerosis took advantage of it and just took over. But we can ignore that. And they did fix it. And I'll give them credit for that as much as they could. But I'm trying to back up for you so you can see me and my entire.
So,
yes.
Mary, what do you have a specific question for me?
Well, yeah. I want you to get me all straight again. That's all.
So
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, so based on what you shared with me, right, and the level of complexity, yeah, we can help you. And we have something called a VIP Platinum. So our VIP Platinum is our most elite training system, which is where you meet with one of our doctors every week for an hour, plus you have our regular training system that our VIPs have. And we've had other VIPs who have similar types of conditions that have made really profound improvements where they haven't made improvements anywhere else. So that we also have available when it's a little more severe type of situation as yours. And so, yeah, I mean, we definitely have solutions for you that we can help you, and you would definitely fit into that system, and you definitely make progress for sure. I mean, there's things that we need to work on in terms of inflammation, right? Because multiple sclerosis being scars on the spine and the nervous system that then decreases the conductivity of the neural impulse going out. So it's if we can control that inflammation and really optimize the neuroplasticity and improving the neurological function, it can really help decrease the symptoms that you're experiencing. So,
Well, God,
yeah,
I just want to tell you something. You've already helped me already.
yeah.
If you can stand it. I'm delighted, actually. I'm honestly delighted. Here's the funny thing. Is my sister upstairs is about to have hip surgery. And I think that some of your exercises would really help her too. And I don't think she needs that hip surgery at all. Well, I don't know. She may not. I don't know about that. But I was impressed. I want to just tell you, I'm totally impressed already. And I don't think you meant to be that impressive. But you still didn't impress me totally. So I'm now there may be an issue about the cost. We'll see how we can manage with that, but we'll do our best to figure it out. But here's the wonderful thing is you managed to do a lot for me for free.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty impressed already.
Awesome. Well, good. We'll stay in the sessions. Session 2, invite your sister. Session 2 is all about knee and hip. So invite your sister and yeah, let's keep moving forward and let's connect and let's see if how we can help you further.
I'm thrilled that you have this available too, and she can watch this old show now.
Yeah.
For nothing. That'll be great. And
yeah.
And
Yes.
so wild that we have workers, contractors coming in to do all kinds of work on the house, and we don't have availability. But I have availability at 5 every day, so I'm gonna be here with you, and my sister will be here some way or other. I hope.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for connecting with me, Mary. I'm happy to hear you've already got some body progress from what you've learned and applied today.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, if we can make your feet and ankles more functional, that's the thing you're standing on. So that's a great start. So I'm very happy to connect with you. Look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you in the next session.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Chris, hello, Chris, welcome. Good afternoon to you.
All right, hi.
Hi.
Thank you for this. So a couple of questions. So one of my problems actually may be better addressed next week, but it's that my right knee will pop where it feels like it needs to pop. And then after I do that, it feels weaker. So in thinking about today with the foot, I was noticing when we're doing the, the foot was, arched back, way, but that it's like my foot behind me then was turned to the side. And then I was noticing earlier today also that it's like as I was walking that my feet weren't like, so straight. So my question is, should the feet really be straight on? Is there any time that it should be askewed, or should I be really consciously focusing on them being straight?
Yeah, you want to be, especially with what you just shared with me with the knee. It's important, like we're going to go very deep on this in session 2, but basically you want your hip, your knee, and your foot in one straight line, because when you don't, it creates shear stress. You're basically creating grinding, and that's why you feel popping in the knee. So when your foot's going this way and your knee is going that way, and the knee is meant to only do just hinge joint, like a door, just hinge, then we run into that popping and grinding and what we call shear stress. And that's actually what creates degeneration to the joint, and eventually osteoarthritis. So yeah, the great part is what you're struggling with, you're going to have like massive improvement. If you learn and really apply what I'm going to teach you, you're going to have a major improvement in that area.
And so then I'm assuming my body will eventually self-correct as I become aware and, re-correct myself that I'm, walking foot, knees, hips forward and straight, that eventually my body brain is going to learn that, that's the position I want to be in, and I don't need to think about it anymore. Right?
Yes, absolutely. So, but everything adapts to positioning. So your nervous system adapts to positioning. So in other words, if you're used to having foot out, pointed out, knee going in, it adapts that it connects with the tissues from that type of position. Even though it doesn't like it and it gets pain signals and all kinds of stuff, it'll adapt to those tissues like that. Then the actual muscles will adapt to strengthen that position. Then the bone will start to change. Then the tendons and the ligaments and even the fascial or the encasing tissue around the actual contractile muscle, the muscles that actually make your body move, or the tissues that actually make your body move, that it all adapts to that, but it can all change also. Okay, so once you start to do exactly what you just said, you become aware. So that's why so much of this is learning based. Once you start to really understand the positioning and start training that position, the nervous system will retrain the tissues, and then the mechanical characteristics of the tissue will change according to what the nervous system is actually asking it to do. So that's why that's what we call neuromuscular retraining, is it's a neuromuscular, and we really started that. And today with about the foot and the ankle is really a neuromuscular retraining process. And we do that from foot to head, and we do it super thoroughly. In the full body fix, you learn a lot. There's something for every part of your body, basically. And then in our ongoing system, we really go deep. We have like an infinite track of that, where you continually improve, continue those kind of body mechanics. But an interesting fact, fun fact, is they actually have research on that, and that is 3 to 30,000 it takes 3 to 30,000 repetition to retrain a movement pattern. Now I know that's a big gap, but that's what the research showed. I didn't do the research. So 3,000 to 30,000 repetitions to get to where, like, when you used to be out of alignment when not thinking about it, now you're in alignment when not thinking about it. So, and the interesting thing about that is some of that can be mental rehearsal. So if you're just sitting there and you think about walking and you think about your hip, your knee, and your foot going straight, and you visualize that, you're actually going to be able to have some of those visualizations count as repetitions. They don't all have to be physical.
I like that.
Yeah,
Now that's what we call a hack.
right. That's right. That's a biohack for you there. Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if, because when we were doing the foot, you know, the 2 fingers underneath the arch, you know, yes, I need those exercises to get it better. So I was wondering, it's like, as I'm walking, should I be trying to consciously arch, like, I guess, arch my foot?
If, yes, especially if somewhat, right? So there's a couple parts of what you just asked. Yes, if you have foot pronation, which is the middle of your foot, you know, towards the inside of your foot where it faces the other foot. If you have a tendency to kind of fall in, and so if someone's watching you walk from the back, it looks like a car when it has a flat tire. Like if that's how your foot works, then absolutely yes. And then the next point is for all of this stuff, if we're adapted to X, moving X way, whether it's back misalignment or foot or knee misalignment, yes, like with the knee, especially having it be aligned as a hinge and not in, that one you can kind of just go perfectly aligned right away. But something like that, you have to use the tissues, like the foot example, where you're flexing the foot every time you step. The reality is, if you just go from 0 of not doing that to like 7,000 steps a day now doing that, you're going to create some serious inflammation in your foot and the tissue, because the tissues are going to get overstressed there. Even though it's going towards correction, you're overtraining the tissues. So I caution you in terms of like, how do you stair step into that? Eventually we put it in that 3 to 30,000 rep category, where now the improved function just exists. It just improved. So I would suggest at first you do like 5% of your steps per day, like that, 3 to 5%, and then eventually 5 to 10%, you know, after 2-3 weeks. And then, you know, listen to your body, listen to your foot, and how does it feel? And then do like the self-applied plantar fascia stretch that I showed today. Get like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, and you can put your foot on it with just sitting, and you can roll your feet on that. It'll help massage all the tissues underneath. Now you're doing a degenerative stimulus. In other words, like a workout, a breakdown, metabolic function, putting stress on the tissue, but you're also doing the recovery aspect. So recovery aspect is like foot bath, or putting your feet in like hot water and then cold water, which rejuvenates the tissue, rolling the feet with a ball, doing self-applied massaging. So when we do both the degenerative stimulus and the regenerative stimulus, when you put those together, that's very anti-aging, because one of the things that happens over the age of 50, roughly, okay, could be at 45, could be at 60, but in this range of age of roughly 50, is our bodies definitely start to get more inflamed, and they get more affected by this degenerative stimulus. So you can't get away at 50, 60, 70, 80 with the level of intensity of the workout that you could when you're 20, 30 years old. But overall, you can get a similar type of fitness effect. It just has to be not so much at one time. So it has to be like a good healthful stimulus that you're able to recover from. And part of the secret sauce to that is matching your intense body work type of stuff with that recovery aspect. And when you do that, that is the secret sauce. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And
welcome.
finally, do you have an opinion about inversion tables? Yay or nay?
Yeah, an inversion table can be good. It's a little dangerous, like depending on who, you know, and we specialize in the population over the age of 50. So I definitely have a little concern about, you know, aneurysms and strokes and that type of thing, having all the blood rush to the head of an individual that has zero adaptation to that. They, you know, most 60, 70-year-olds, 50-year-old, they're not used to hanging upside down. They're not bats, right? So yeah, do the discs like smash together during the day and sitting and everything? And can the inversion table help with that? Yes, Absolutely. But what kind of pressure are we putting on the ankles to hang that way and on the knees? And how is the individual going to react? Some people will react really, really well, and some people won't. So we're going to, the answer really is, do you have great cardiovascular health and no issues? Are you used to doing like aerobic activity where you have good vascular flow, right? Blood vessel flow and this type of, and if so, then yeah, it's probably going to be a safe, healthy thing for you, and you do it and you don't feel joint pain afterward, then yeah, I think it's a really good thing to decompress the spine. But we have to think about like, is it right for you based on what I shared?
Yeah, I have a table, just haven't used it for quite a while, and yeah, haven't thought about that. Stroke, I'm gonna get aneurysm. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you have your whole head fill up with blood like a balloon and you're not used to it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm just taking a look at the comments now, guys, see if there's anything I should answer to from the comments before we close out today's session. And let me know if anybody would still like to ask a question or has a comment or like share something. Please feel free to connect. Okay, so full body fixers love to connect. Oh, all right, Randy. Randy, do you have video capability? There we go. Hello.
Hello, it's Marilee, not Randy.
Oh,
But it says
Marilyn?
Randy, Marilee, yeah. My husband's Randy.
Nice to meet you, Marilyn.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. I'm impressed with you. I'm an retired occupational therapist, and hand therapy was my specialty. And I think I'm fairly fit. I walk an hour every day pretty quickly, but I have fibromyalgia, and I've been having a problem off and on with hip pain and knee pain. And I've gone to PTs. I've done a lot of strengthening exercise of the hips and stuff, but it still kind of comes and goes. So is that something you're going to go over in future sessions? Some things that might help me? So I know my feet, and like my feet are straight ahead, and I have orthotics. I've had that I wear, so I know my arch is not falling when I'm walking.
Yeah, we'll go pretty deep on like what's going on with the knees and hips, and as we touch on all the points in the hip and knee session, I'm sure you're gonna find something in there to help improve your alignment. But in terms of what you shared with me about fibromyalgia, like for sure, and it will help you. I have no doubt you're gonna find something in there that really helps improve some things. But have you ever had a food allergen test? So have you ever like really went in and had all your food allergies?
Yeah, I've had that done 3 different times, and I've gotten down to, it's like there's nothing to eat when I do that. And I have like 500 foods I'm allergic to. Seriously, because I have microcolitis too. Not that everybody needs to hear all my issues, but I've got so many things going on. I've seen several naturopaths, functional medicine doctors. I mean, I've gone here, there, and everywhere. So yes, I've had 3 different food allergy tests, and it's like I've run out of things to eat. I'm down to like 90 pounds. So it's not good. It's not good.
So yeah, so in that case, great, you've done your homework on that. And so yeah, on a biomechanically optimized approach is going to be wonders for you, because you just everything is in perfect alignment. And then also the thing that's really important, Marilyn, is biomechanics, and then how much is the right amount of exercise for you, like having the perfect amount of what we call dosage of exercise. That's crucial. Also. And when we match those two, that's where an individual that's having hip pain, knee pain, and has done the nutritional work that's where we can really optimize. Yeah.
Okay.
And
but I got a lot of natural anti-inflammatories, fish oil, and quercetin and bromelain and all of that. Boswelliazyme and all that stuff. So
Yeah, you're doing all the right stuff on the nutrition side. Yeah, you got a lot of bases covered already, for sure. Yeah.
all
So
organic.
yeah, let's make the biomechanical piece now, like you already have the nutritional component. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Looking forward to seeing you back in the second session. And then did you schedule an It's All About You session?
I have not done that. Is it just like
Yeah.
one session? It's not a whole
Yeah, it's
bunch of,
just one. No, it's just one set. It's a semi-private,
Oh,
It's All About You session, which Patricia will drop a link in the chat again for that. But the It's All About You session is, it's a semi-private session. You meet with me, and usually there's somewhere between 3 to 5 other full body fixers in the session. And we go
Okay.
through your specific things. And then we also talk about like what's next after the full body fix. But I think
Wonderful.
based on what you shared, I think it's a very ideal next step for you. So
okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you're
All
welcome.
right.
You're welcome. Great connecting with you.
You too. Bye now.
Bye for now. Okay, full body fixer. So we'll keep the session. And
We have
I
a
wanna make
question,
sure-
Rob, in the chat.
Oh, okay. I saw James. I saw a thumb up. So I wasn't sure if it was a hand raise or thumb up. Did you see James? Patty, you're asking me about?
What I
I'm
am
not-
seeing is Sarah's question. Can you improve nerve damage in the foot? My dad has a pretty rough, but he doesn't think so.
And just so we have the right name, I think it's actually Nick. Is it Nick? Sarah's actually Nick, I
Oh,
think. I think.
this Zoom
But
names
yeah.
are very confusing.
But let me answer. Okay, so can you improve nerve damage in the foot? My dad has it pretty rough. He doesn't think so. Actually, we have an 84-year-old VIP right now who has nerve damage, who of course remain nameless, so I can share a little bit of the story. And he's making a lot of progress. He's making a lot of guys, one thing that everyone should also think about is like if you have scoliosis, or if you have a foot issue, or like if you have knee issues and you think you might need a knee replacement or this issue, it doesn't end there, right? So for example, someone with nerve damage in the foot, yes, absolutely. If you improve the functionality, you get the nervous system to calm down, and you get the tissues more mobile, and you get better alignment, it will absolutely improve the condition, and you get better metabolic function in the tissues in the area. You're going to improve the overall health environment of all the cells, and that's what improves the health. But the other thing to consider is when you have any real body issue like that, what are all the other onslaught of issues that it causes everybody everywhere else? So if you try to, yes, you should, if you have a foot issue, focus on the foot. But then what are the other things that it's happening in other parts and chains of the body, the knee, the hip, the back, that eventually that becomes an issue, and that's where the whole aging process, well, I had a foot issue. Everybody knows, or maybe it's yourself, that someone that they had a foot issue. Now they have a knee, and now they have a hip issue. And so the goal is to address all of those things and optimize the mechanics of your body, because that's what really changes around the age of 50 and over is once you optimize the mechanics, then you can get the physiological effects from fitness, like being strong and being leaner and having a tighter midsection, some visual goals that everybody has some level of. But you optimize the function, you can get all the fitness results. But if we try to approach it from just, even if you're 80, 90 years old, if you just approach it from the fitness, just the workout perspective, that's where things go wrong. So if we optimize the mechanics, then we can get even more physiological effects from exercise. And then to answer your question, Sarah, or I think it was Nick, specifically, absolutely. Yeah, and we actually have a VIP who has neuropathy and is going through that right now, and it's caused other issues in his body, and now the whole area is getting some improvement. So yep, absolutely. And then James, I just want to make sure, I appreciate your thumbs up and your clapping, and just wanted to make sure, you obviously know how to use Zoom really well, or you wouldn't be finding thumbs up and clapping. So I'm sure you know the difference between thumbs up, clapping, and the hand raise. Correct? Hello, sir. How are you?
Good.
How'd you enjoy today's session, my friend?
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you have had any success helping stroke patients overcome disabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. It's actually really close to home. My father had a stroke last year, and helping him get back to walking and that type of thing. And over the years, I've worked with many stroke patients, some varying levels. I've worked from those that are wheelchair bound all the way to those that are just having trouble with some speech and some walking and, some different daily functional activities. But yeah, absolutely. How are you currently? Are you able to like walk and have some normal functionality, or where are you at with that?
I can walk, but I can't walk very far. And I have my toes, I have a tendency to the flexors curl the toes downward. So walking the heel toe method is a little difficult. Sometimes I can handle it. Sometimes the flexors will curl the toes downward.
Yeah.
And sometimes the ankle can get swollen. And when you walk long distance, I sometimes have to wear an AFO. There's ankle foot orthotic.
Yeah, then that's it's good. Sometimes keeping that external aid, like you talked about with the external orthotic, and keeping good alignment in your body, you need some of those external aids. But working on those areas with what the neurological focused application of exercise will absolutely help. Absolutely improve functionality. So and you could totally fit into our training system and be able to optimize your body with all of that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. You can come talk to me if you like at it. It's all about you session. We can chat more about it. And Patricia dropped a link with it's a very personal video. It's not really intended to be business based, but she dropped a video in the chat. So you're welcome to click on the link of the chat and see that. So yeah. And much love to you, Full Body Fixers. I hope that you make it a really great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you back here on session 2. Make it a wonderful weekend. Bye for now. You're welcome. Very welcome.